The uMkhonto weSizwe party announced major changes to its leadership structure, including the removal of Dr John Hlophe as first deputy president. The party says Hlophe will, however, remain its leader in the National Assembly. Nkosinathi Nhleko has also been removed from his position as the party's national chairperson with immediate effect, while Nomsa Dlamini has been relieved of her duties as Deputy Secretary General. For more on this, we're joined by the national spokesperson for the uMkhonto weSizwe Party Sifiso Mahlangu. Sifiso, good evening. Thank you so much for joining us. Really do appreciate it. In a press conference, the party had said that the reason for these changes is to stabilize and to strengthen the party as it begins to consolidate. In what ways do the current newly appointed leadership offer a better opportunity and ability to do that vis-a-vis the leadership that has been removed? Simply put, why is Dr Zuma, in the mind of the party and its national leadership, a better candidate or a better prospect of leading the party at that level vis-a-vis Dr John Hlophe?
Good evening, Oliver, and good evening to your viewers. Well, science is on our side on this one because South Africa is largely a young country. Our voters are primarily young. Any party that does not prioritize the youth is certain to be doomed. At uMkhonto weSizwe Party's Hoover conference last year, the president was adamantly lobbied for a younger block of representatives in the party's higher structure. In fact, it was a policy proposal from the youth band of uMkhonto weSizwe Party, and the president conceded. In his closing remarks, he said, by the time we get to the 2029 elections, uMkhonto weSizwe Party will be a party led by young people. I'm sure that video and link is somewhere on YouTube. For this matter, the president has appointed Mr. Dr Zuma as the party's first deputy president, Ms. Lindiwe Mjali as the deputy secretary general, the apostle, Reverend Mxolisi as the party's chairperson. All those individuals are, of course, young people, many of them born in the 80s and some in the 90s. It is a party that looks ahead to groom young leadership that will take this party forward. This has been a consideration for some time, and it is a discussion in our policy documents. Mr. Dr Zuma has been doing a lot of work in the party. We know him to have been a businessman. He's done incredibly well in that front, and we've consolidated a youth band to take this country forward with students, with young people, with teens in, and we hope that young people will recognize this and vote for the uMkhonto weSizwe Party on the 4th of November.
Okay. Sifiso, what do you say to those who say this move, the appointment of Dr Zuma, cements and confirms that the MK party is merely just Jacob Zuma's family party?
Well, then the ANC was Nelson Mandela's family party because President Mandela appointed his wife, Winnie Madikizela Mandela, as Minister of Arts and Culture. The children of Walter Sisulu, such as Lindiwe Sisulu, were ministers in this government. Naledi Pandor is a child of a struggle stalwart.
Okay, in fairness,
son. Let me finish. Thabo Mbeki is the son.
I think the point is made, Sifiso. I think the point is made.
Politician. So we're not a family structure in any way. We're not going to overlook credentials, youth, creativity, because someone bears the Zuma surname. If the president and the officials deem fit that a young band of leaders take over the party, that's what we're going to do.
It's not enough, Sifiso, to say, well, the ANC did it too, therefore we are not that.
Well, it's certainly enough for us because we are uMkhonto weSizwe Party, we're not the SABC. We make announcements, policy propositions, we make regulations, we make adjustments in the way that we see fit. This was a decision of the party's higher structure, and the members agree with it, and they celebrate this move. So whether or not the press agrees with it is not particularly the issue with it. I think we've made a good deal, and this is the team that will take South Africa forward.
There's been a handful of changes numerous times over in the last 2 years, 2.5 or so years since the party has been formed, Sifiso, at its national level, right? In fact, if my calculations serve me right, it is merely only Jacob Zuma who has been the only leader of the party in its top structure since its founding. Everyone else has been swapped around one way at some point or another. A twofold question to this: what guarantee and comfort can you give the voters and supporters of the MK party that it's not a party with its leadership structures in disarray on the one hand, but secondly, doesn't this perhaps signal that it's time for the MK party to consider an elective conference so that its leadership structures can, through a democratic process, reflect the will of its supporters and members?
I would like you to be more concerned about our policy proposals, our manifesto, and what we can do to the people of South Africa rather than the faces and the names that occupy leadership structures. We're not particularly concerned about names, faces, heights, weights, colors of a particular leadership structure, but we're more concerned about what people can do in municipalities. That is why we're organizing robustly individuals, intellectuals, people with capacity, people with experience to come and take over municipalities to run South Africa efficiently.
Yeah.
Who those individuals are, their creed, their race, their orientation is not our affinity right now. So to say that we remove this person and why we're not having a conference right now, we're a 2-year-old party, we're equipping leadership, people to come and run this country. We want to be allowed to do that, and in the right frame of time, we'll announce a conference to elect the leadership that this party sees fit. But we're concerned that it's not our party members who are concerned about this, it's members of other parties and members of the press who are concerned about the internal affairs of uMkhonto party. We're very happy with this leadership.
Okay.
We know that they'll carry us to the election and beyond, and we call on our people to support that, and we call on the people of South Africa to elect uMkhonto party.
Yeah, and just a last question on a separate matter, parenthetical to this, Sifiso, and it's okay if you don't readily have an answer for me on this, but what is the party's response to the suspension of David Nkosinathi from Parliament?
David Nkosinathi has not been suspended from Parliament. He's suspended from a sitting of the National Assembly for a duration of time not exceeding 7 days. We accept that decision. David Nkosinathi will be back in the National Assembly executing the responsibilities that he was elected to do, joining the 58 members of Parliament from uMkhonto party in the National Assembly.
Thank you very much. Really do appreciate it. Sifiso Mahlangu, the spokesperson, national spokesperson of the MK party.